For years, if you wanted a true premium ultra portable, you had to accept a price tag that started around $1,000 or $1,200. Anything below that usually meant settling for plastic build quality, dim screens, or compromised trackpads. When Apple introduced the MacBook Neo at a lower price tier, it shifted expectations for what an entry-level high portable laptop could offer. PC manufacturers had to pivot. Dell has responded with this machine, the new 2026 Dell XPS 13. It starts right around $699, which puts it directly in line with a sub-$700 price point, but it keeps the CNC machined aluminum construction and minimalist design that the XPS line is known for. Today we are going to walk through the features, look at performance, and see how this higher spec configuration compares to the competition. Let's get into it. From a design standpoint, Dell did not cut corners on the industrial chassis. It is built using CNC and aluminum and measures just 12.7 millimeters thick, or about half an inch. It weighs around 2.2 pounds, or about 1 kilogram, making it the lightest XPS model Dell has produced. Holding it in your hand, it feels dense and well constructed. There's no flex in the keyboard deck, and the hinge has enough tension to open smoothly while holding the screen stable. In terms of connectivity, it stays minimal. You get 2 Type-C ports, one on each side. Depending on your exact processor configuration you select, these support standard USB 3.1 or Thunderbolt 4, along with power delivery and DisplayPort capabilities. Like many modern ultra portables in this size class, there is no dedicated headphone jack or SD card slot, so you'll need to rely on wireless audio or standard Type-C adapters for legacy gear. The display is a 13.4-inch Infinity Edge touchscreen with a 2560 by 1600 resolution and a 16:10 aspect ratio. It features a variable refresh rate that scales up to 120 Hz, along with 500 nits of peak brightness at 100% DCI-P3 color coverage. Having a 120 Hz variable refresh rate on a $699 base platform is a notable inclusion. Text is sharp, scrolling is fluid, and the 500 nits of brightness make it easy to read in bright indoor environments or near windows. Below the screen, you have Dell's keyboard layout with backlighting alongside a glass precision trackpad. The key travel is short but tactile, providing a quiet, comfortable typing experience. The trackpad uses a physical click mechanism rather than a haptic engine, but tracking is accurate and palm rejection works as expected. Let's break down what's under the hood because configuration details do matter here. The base model of the XPS 13 starts at $699 with an Intel Core 5 processor, 8 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, and a 512 gig SSD. However, to be clear, this specific unit I have today is the upgraded higher-end configuration. This version is equipped with 16 gigs of LPDDR5X memory and a 512 NVMe SSD running on Intel Series 3 architecture with integrated graphics. Having 16 gigs of RAM makes a notable difference in longevity and multitasking. Modern web browsers and background system processes eat up 8 gigs fairly quickly. So if you plan to keep a laptop for 3 to 5 years, stepping up to 16 gigs is probably a good choice. For daily tasks, office productivity, web browsing, and media consumption, this Core 5 platform performs consistently well. Application launch times are quick, and switching between multiple open browser tabs, documents, and messaging apps happens without hesitation. The integrated neural processing unit handles basic localized AI tasks and camera effects cleanly, and thermal management stays quiet during general productivity. The internal 52 watt-hour battery delivers reliable productivity time, easily getting you through a standard workday of mixed usage. Now, how does this compare to Apple's MacBook Neo? When you place them side by side, both target the same core audience looking for a compact, high portable laptop under $700, but they approach the execution differently. The XPS 13 offers a 120 Hz touchscreen with a higher resolution, whereas the MacBook Neo uses a standard 60 Hz non-touch IPS panel. The XPS includes a backlit keyboard across its models, which is missing on the base Neo. The MacBook Neo runs macOS on Apple's A series, offering strong battery efficiency. The XPS 13 runs full Windows 11 on x86, providing broader native software compatibility for legacy desktop applications. Both feature full metal enclosures, but the XPS 13 manages a slightly lighter 2.2-pound frame. If you prefer macOS or prioritize passive fanless cooling, the Neo remains a strong option. But if you want a touchscreen, a high refresh rate, and a familiar Windows environment and a premium chassis, the XPS 13 presents a very compelling package. Taking a quick look at the remaining hardware details, the top bezel houses a 1080p IR webcam that supports Windows Hello facial recognition for quick logins. The image quality is clear enough for video calls and remote meetings without looking overly compressed. Wireless connectivity is handled by Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6.0, ensuring fast local network speeds if you have a compatible router. For audio, Dell placed stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support into the chassis. For a laptop that measures just half an inch thick, the volume output is surprisingly clear and clean for speech and casual video playback. Though like most ultra portables, deep low-end bass is limited. So overall, The 2026 Dell XPS 13 is a logical, well-targeted entry into the modern ultra-portable market. Dell managed to bring the signature CNC metal design down to a starting price point that makes premium hardware far more accessible. If you're looking at the base model, it offers strong entry-level value, but if your budget allows for it, opting for a configuration with 16 gigs of RAM like the one we have here provides a better overall system headroom for multitasking and long-term use. We will have a full long-term written breakdown with all the details over at TECHAERIS.com in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Dell's new price point for the XPS 13 and whether you prefer this over the MacBook Neo. If you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell, make sure you comment below whether or not you comment about the MacBook Neo or the XPS 13. Just drop a comment and let's talk. I appreciate you highly, as always, and the most important thing to me is that you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will talk to you on the other side.